So to all the fans out there who thought that the Book of Boba Fett may very well be The Mandalorian Season 3, well, you just got confirmation that it is indeed its own spin-off show, and let's get into breaking this down. How's it going, my fellow bounty hunters? Welcome to a brand new Star Wars video. I was planning on doing a couple of Mandalorian videos, as you know, after the finale, because there's quite a bit to digest and still talk about, some predictions for Season 3 and where I think it can go. But today is all about the spin-off, the Book of Boba Fett, of which all of you should know about from the post-credit scene of the Mandalorian Season 2 finale. They teased that the Book of Boba Fett will indeed be coming in 2021. However, because there was an actual clarification on if that's a spin-off show or not, fans were wondering, wait, maybe it's the whole thing that people have been talking about for a long time now. The Mandalorian, the show, can just be about more than just Mando, but technically someone else like Boba Fett, who is a Mando, but technically isn't, but technically is, kind of thing. But I was never on board with that. It's like, no, like, trust me, Mando Season 3 will be going forward. Do you really think that they're just gonna scrap all the storylines, the Darksaber, Mandalore, Baby Grogu in the future, because he is coming back? Don't trust me on that in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, finally, Star Wars Today gave us some more details. Either way, we've got a logo, baby. Look at that. What a sweet ass logo. Star Wars, the Book of Boba Fett. Love the use of green and red there, but also not completely pristine, because it's got the kind of wear and tear that you had on Boba Fett's armor, actually, up until he recently did a paint job on it, where it's actually more cleaner than it's ever been, even over the original trilogy films. So without further ado, let's actually read what StarWars.com has to say about this very specifically, and then I'll go over my thoughts. The Book of Boba Fett, a new series coming December 2021 on Disney+. Boba Fett is back, and his story is just beginning. As teased in a surprise end credit sequence following the season finale of The Mandalorian, the legendary bounty hunter's journey will continue in the Book of Boba Fett. Jon Favreau, executive producer of The Mandalorian, confirmed today on Good Morning America that the new series is currently in production and will arrive December 2021 only on Disney+. The Book of Boba Fett will be set within the timeline of The Mandalorian and star Temuera Morrison as a titular bounty hunter, along with Ming-Na Wen as Fennec Shand. Robert Rodriguez, who directed Chapter 14 of The Mandalorian, a thrilling installment that reintroduced Boba Fett to the Star Wars galaxy, joins Favreau and Dave Filoni as executive producer. Now, up until recently, people were thinking that this show could be a prequel, but it does state here that the bounty hunter's journey will continue, and it will be set within the timeline of The Mandalorian. Now, some people may still say, yeah, but it could still be set before Season 2, where he hadn't even got his armor. We could see him get out of the Sarlacc pit. Now, I'm not discounting that we won't see that, or it won't be explained, but considering the ending of The Mandalorian Season 2 in that post-credit scene where he took out Bib Fortuna in Jabba the Hutt's palace, if it's even called that anymore, Bib Fortuna's palace, and took the throne of the kind of criminal underworld, if you will, of all systems in Star Wars. Sure, he's got to have some competition, but that is exactly what they could flesh out, you know, because some people may be questioning Boba Fett's legitimacy to just walking in and taking over the throne, so to speak. But there's a whole lot of action and adventure that can come with that, to say that if it was set before this, that really wouldn't be as interesting as what story they've set up moving forward. So yes, I truly do believe it will continue, if it wasn't obvious already, from that moment where we saw Fennec Shand and Boba Fett, as Fennec Shand was just drinking a Jawa juice or whatever that was. That's another giveaway, just in case you're still doubting it. The fact that we've got Fennec Shand in the Book of Boba Fett spin-off series means that it could only be continuing on from that moment, if you think about it, or at least the moment that he brought her about. So yeah, like, let's just clear that this will take place after he has become the ruler of, well, Bib Fortuna's palace, and yeah, I can't wait to see what that will bring moving forward. And I actually love this as well. For the longest time, you know, you may have heard that we were supposed to be getting, there was like Boba Fett stuff in production a couple of years back, but then it's kind of flopped with the climate of Star Wars at the time, after the fallout of The Last Jedi and Solo: A Star Wars Story. But now, I feel like Star Wars at least on the TV front, finding this kind of equilibrium with what works and what doesn't work. And it's really starting to take off more than ever. I think the reaction to the finale of The Mandalorian Season 2 was very powerful and profound for many fans. And now with the reintroduction of Boba Fett in that episode where he just went ham, you know, they're giving Star Wars fans what they want. Like, you know, to not sound cliche, Star Wars fans are eating good. Like, we're constantly getting something at the minute, and it's fantastic. Now, Jon Favreau also said that Boba Fett is already filming, and then we go into production after that with Season 3 of The Mandalorian. So, as you can already just tell from that very sentence, right now, as StarWars.com said as well, they're in production, they're filming, but because they're using the same kind of people, place, studio, that's why The Mandalorian Season 3's production has to wait until the Book of Boba Fett Season 1 production is done, because, well, yeah, as I just said, like, they're kind of, it's in order of shooting, they're using the same establishment, so to speak. So, as for airing, I don't think that The Mandalorian Season 3 will be airing simultaneously alongside the Book of Boba Fett, because I got asked on Twitter, do you think having their two most notable properties airing around the same time might water down the hype people have for these? I mean, they have almost nothing in their cupboard, why throw both of them out there at the same time? I completely understand that sentiment, and I think that would be true for some people, maybe, but I do think it won't overwhelm fans in such an extent if that was the case. But regardless, this doesn't seem like it will be the case, because Boba Fett, or should I say the Book of Boba Fett, will be long done in production and then in the post-editing room by the time The Mandalorian Season 3 only just starts filming. So I think it would be a kind of situation where you've got some other shows from different properties, like, for example, we have DC Universe shows that are now HBO Max shows, where you had Titans airing, and then you had Doom Patrol after that. They weren't on at the exact same time. I can imagine we're going to get the Book of Boba Fett probably around the same time we would normally get the Mandalorians next season, but because that's going to be slightly pushed back now, because, you know, it's having to wait until the production for the Book of Boba Fett is done, I think that will air its episodes, and then after that, you know, maybe the very next week, maybe there might be a little bit of an interlude. That's when The Mandalorian Season 3 will start. Actually, there may be a little bit of a gap just to, you know, implement some marketing in there. And you could do some marketing towards the end of the season for the Book of Boba Fett, but I feel like that will get a little bit clouded away in all the hype for that show. So probably a little bit of a space, so there's proper time and proper marketing put into the next season of The Mandalorian. But yeah, I'm thrilled about this, because Boba Fett is a character that's been more popular than what I would argue he deserves in an extent, just because he's never, I mean, look at actually what he's been in live action before this. Sure, you may have been a big fan of him from Legends, with maybe the material they gave him there, which they actually might be borrowing from to put into the Book of Boba Fett series. For example, seeing maybe Nar Shaddaa for the first time in live action, since he's taking over the criminal enterprise of what was set up by Jabba, then taken over by Bib Fortuna. So, like, it's gonna be, I think, about him earning his name, as Bib Fortuna said to him, you know, I heard rumors that you were alive, but now he's like, slap bang, I'm back, baby, and I'm gonna make sure my name is heard and heard of, so to speak, and that Boba is alive. There is no rumor that he's alive, he is alive, and if you really want to find that out for yourself, well, proceed with caution. I could do a whole separate speculation video of this. I mean, I think it's fairly obvious he's not going to remain on Tatooine, and he's just literally going to be on that throne, just making some shady deals on spice imports and stuff like that within Tatooine's, I don't know, spice trade. No, like, I think we're going to see him go out and about, and when I say earn his name, it's not like he hasn't earned his name, but I think due to the absence and maybe even borderline embarrassment that there was with him ending up in the Sarlacc pit, he needs to distribute his iron fist down on the table of not just one system, but all the systems in the Star Wars galaxy. And I really do feel like that is almost needless to say a recipe for success. The action, the production, and everything they've put into The Mandalorian, and now being handled by the same people, it's just, the line graph only goes up. There's no nosediving. It's just, it's going to be pure entertainment. And not just entertainment that we didn't ask for Star Wars fans, but the entertainment that Star Wars fans have wanted for so long now. It's, as I said, I don't want to be that guy, but it feels like, and I want to touch wood somewhere, but it kind of feels like Star Wars is starting to, like, it hit the ground, not running, it actually slapped its face, but now it's finally got back up, and instead of limping, it's starting to get into its stride again. There is honestly just so much potential here. Whether you've read Legends material for Boba Fett or not, think about the things they could do to flesh out the notoriety of this guy, like, within the galaxy. It's like everything we probably wanted from this rough side of Star Wars that we never got. Like, we were close to getting it with Star Wars 1313. That didn't really go anywhere, but now we're gonna have a live action show with potentially him going into the criminal underworld of, like, Nar Shaddaa, this, that, and the other, asserting his reputation, building it even more, building upon what maybe he lost. I could honestly talk about this forever, but I would love for you guys to maybe leave some suggestions down in the comments below for extra bonus videos that you may want to see, whether it's Mandalorian related or the Book of Boba Fett, because you can be sure to know that I will be covering on the channel. So if you're not already subscribed to this video and you've actually got this far, make sure you're subscribed with the bell button on as well, because you don't always get notified of the videos. But this is a really good day. I know this is something we knew would be happening in some way, shape, or form anyway, but there were a lot of Star Wars fans who were kind of confused if this was like a new chapter on the Mandalorian or if it was its own spin-off show. But if it isn't obvious enough now already, here's the beautiful logo of Star Wars, the Book of Boba Fett, and we're gonna get some badass bounty hunter action, and should I say kingpin even of the underworld in 2021. But go ahead and like this video if you did enjoy it. Also, I still want to shout out at my video that I did the other day of how Vader could actually work in canon in terms of an actual physical rematch of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I dedicated a whole video to that, so definitely check it out if you're interested in Hayden Christensen returning to live action Star Wars as Anakin/Vader in the Obi-Wan series. But that's absolutely everything for today's video. So as I said, leave some suggestions down in the comments. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and may the Force be with you always.